Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Good evening to everybody. I'm going to read the President's statement real quick. Today, the Board of Trustees is meeting in a called meeting. The board welcomes and appreciates comments and inputs from the community. Open forum is provided at each meeting to allow the public to address the board. There will be one open forum today to hear requests regarding agenda items only. Those addressing the board are asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes per meeting. The speaker should identify his or her name, group affiliation, if any, and make a brief presentation with an identified solution if one is sought. Remarks should be addressed to the board as a whole. Oral presentations may not include charges against any employee or board member by name. It is my responsibility to determine if the person addressing the board has attempted to resolve a concern informally or through the district's complaint policies. If not, the speaker will be directed to follow the appropriate policy. The board requests that all presentations be made in a courteous, respectful, and professional manner and asks that speakers monitor their own behavior. If you wish to speak during one of the open forums, please fill out one of the cards located on the table in the entry hall. All right. Anybody here to speak? Item 3.01, consider approval of replacement Chromebooks. Dr. Hopkins.
Yes, so we are asking for the approval to purchase 2,000 replacement Chromebooks. These are for our kindergarten and first grade aged students. Do you have any questions about our request?
I just have one question. What is your estimated life expectancy of these Chromebooks?
So we're on a 5-year replacement cycle, and the Chromebooks that we are replacing are nearing that 5-year replacement.
Do you see any future adjustments for that, or does everything look good with what you guys have figured out?
So far, it looks good for what we figured out, but do bear in mind that we are really still in the infancy of our true one-to-one program, so we're still kind of making adjustments and identifying our processes and procedures for maintaining our devices and replacing our devices.
So one final question, 2,000, how did you guys come up with that number? Does it ever need to be bigger or smaller? Or?
So it's actually a little bit bigger than we truly need. We need about 1,600, so we went ahead and rounded up because we know that we have an anticipated 400 devices that are going to be nearing that 5-year replacement cycle. So with anticipated breakage, testing, et cetera, we have these ready to go.
Are these basically like for what they're replacing, or have we made any upgrades in terms of reliability or any different types of hardware that works better?
So they're still a Chromebook, so we didn't upgrade any of that. Of course, they are newer, so as you know, with technology, anytime it's newer, it's going to be better and faster. These devices are the 2-in-1, which are, instead of just opening, the students can flip it back and it can become a touch tablet. That's what we use at our kindergarten and first grade level. So the reason that the breakage is a little bit higher is those hinges can wear out a little bit faster. Our goal will be to eventually help our kindergarten and 1 grade level students become proficient enough in our teachers that we maybe don't need to buy the 2-in-1s and we can go just with the traditional clamshell method.
Okay.
I have a question just because I don't know about the elementary. So are those devices given to the kids and they actually take those home? So they're a device that they're bringing back and forth every day to school, or how does that work with kindergarten and first graders?
So the majority of our devices at the elementary level remain at school. We do not have a district policy that says they have to remain at school, but a lot of our campus administrators and teachers prefer for the devices to remain at school. They don't have a lot of digital homework or need for the devices. It also helps us ensure that they are charged and ready. We do have a few campuses that send their devices home and allow the students to bring them back just as we do our secondary students, but it's on a campus by campus basis right now.
So is there a particular reason why there was so many that needed to be replaced? Did something particular happen, or this is just a normal progression of it?
So normal progression, as a device gets older, it definitely starts to wear. Again, with those hinges and the way that it can be folded backwards, that helps them wear out a little bit faster. We also think that maybe part of what we're going to work on is processes and procedures for checking the devices mid-year. We really, when we take up all the devices in the summer, that's when we start to really touch each and every device. We clean them, we reset them. And we're not touching them during the school year, so it's on the student or the teacher to say, oh, we need to repair this. 5 and 6-year-olds aren't the best at identifying cracks and chinks in their computer. So we're going to start setting up some processes where we can go in and look at those mid-year. That way we have a better estimate of what we need to do to repair. We can have those parts on order and start being a little bit more proactive. We have a recycling program, and so when devices are more than 5 years out of date, we recycle them, and then the recycling center provides us monetary feedback. And then we turn that around and put it back into our technology program.
So these will be here in time for the first day of school?
They will. We had already scoped that out with Dell in order to make sure that they will be here. We will have about 3 days to get these computers in, unboxed, set up, and in the hands of students before school starts, or on the campus, so we can have them in the hands of students.
So I think it's my understanding, and help me if I'm incorrect, but we were always going to purchase this amount. We've moved it up because we needed to get new ones in place in time to be here for the first day of school, because the number that we were refurbishing exceeded our expectations to be able to get those back into circulation, right?
That is true.
So is the number, because of the higher number that need to be refurbished, are more not being able to be put back in circulation than we were anticipating?
No, so what we'll do now is we'll order the parts for the ones that are still under warranty. We will order the parts, repair those, and then we'll start putting those back into our circulation. Anything that's 5 years or older, we'll send those to recycling.
Does that cost to order those parts because there's a greater number of computers or Chromebooks that we're going to have to do that for? Is that exceeding what we anticipated spending?
It is not. It's still part of our, well, yes, it is, because we didn't anticipate this level of breakage, but overall, we feel like, it's going to even out over the course of the devices.
Is there a charge, like a monetary charge, that kids pay for their devices at any of our campuses? I mean, I'm just questioning this, and if something breaks, is that something they have to pay for, or how does that work?
Yes, so our students do not have to pay any money to receive a device, but if there is consistent or repeated damage to a device, we kind of have the one repair free, so if a screen breaks or something like that, we will repair it. And then if there is just a lot of damage to a device, then we start to charge the family for the repairs. And we have a broken down sheet that we have available so that parents can see how much each repair cost. Students sometimes, keys will fall off or they will get popped off, so we'll charge them to replace those keys. And then our assistant principals help us in notifying the families and getting that money.
All right. Any additional questions? I'll accept a motion.
I move that the board approve the purchase of the replacement Chromebooks from Dell Technologies under state contract DIR TSO 3763 as presented.
A second.
I have a motion and a second for the board to approve the purchase of the replacement Chromebooks from Dell Technologies under state contract DIR TSO 3763 as presented. Please vote. That motion passes.
Thank you.
Item 3.02, consider approval of change order number 01 to CSP 24-01, Hurst Junior High Administration Edition. Mr. Minor?
All right. We're asking for, this is for a change order for the piers. Since 2003, we haven't had as much rain. So building on Hurst Junior High, we did the addition. We went with a very similar pier design. Once we went to do our first test pier, it failed. And it failed due to water in the ground. So stepped back, redesigned, looked at that, tried to understand why. Talking to Geotech, with all that amount of rain, we hit in the wrong spot, I guess. So many piers in such a small area. We just redesigned all the piers to go with this new ACP. It's a typical design that we've done before. So that's what we're doing. And instead of going through and taking money out of all the contingency, which we did have, we're doing this one because if we did that, we would deplete the entire contingency. We're not even out of the dirt, literally. So that's one reason we were going this route.
And Josh, remind everyone the addition cost.
It'd be $150,180.94 to the actual contract.
And as Josh said, we did not anticipate this. We have just drilled piers on that site and possibly the water, but like I said, the piers failed in that location.
And we did do geotech, new testing. So did it just, and we're talking within months in the same exact spot where we did the test. And so we're literally putting piers around where the test hole was. So, and it changed that much.
So just for clarification for my question, Joe, that the last line says to be funded out of the 2024 bond. That's the next issuance of the bond we already have, right?
Well, what he's saying is we plan on covering this with bond funds from this past bond.
That's what I'm asking.
But
okay.
this is exceeding the budget for this project
Right.
by this amount, so we just have to agree to change that.
No, I got that. I was just wondering if it was coming out of bond money. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Any additional questions? I'll accept the motion.
I move the board approve the change order number 01 to CSP 24-01 for Hurst Junior High Administrative Addition as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the board to approve change order number 1 to CSP 24-01 Hurst Junior High Administration Addition as presented. Please vote. That motion passes.
Thank you.
All right, I'll accept a motion to adjourn. We're adjourned.